Yo, yo, yo! So welcome. Alex will be with us shortly. He's just doing the old technical support thing. But you know, we're here and we are looking over the PCS Darkness 1/3 scale. So we're going to get some questions and see if we can do. We just did the review of it actually, so we're trying to go over some of the details with, and then I can hear me. Anyway, so yeah, what we got? We got any questions up?
No, nothing yet. I mean, we've just gone live, so we are waiting for the questions to come in.
Okay, so this is it. This is the piece. Massive, 37 inches tall, so around about 17, 18 inches wide, and about 14 inches deep. We weighed it in at around 15 kilos, and as far as we know, we're the first ones to be doing any videos or anything of this. So you should be able to see it relatively clearly here if everything technical-wise is working. And we were actually really impressed with it. So we're hopeful that the people that have been waiting nearly 3 years for this piece are going to be delighted with what they get, because it's done really, really well. Went over all the details on the review, and we're actually pretty shocked by the quality of this. So, I think people that have this coming are going to be really, really happy. You got the base is around about sort of 6 kilos just on its own, just over 6 kilos itself. And then the piece comes with all the body. The 2 horns are separate. The staff comes in 2 parts, and you get this cape that basically is attached by magnets. You got a full mixed media bottom, and then these actual real hair on his legs. So
it's like my girlfriend in winter.
You wish. You've got all you've got some hanging chains here, real metal chains, and some real metal goldy brass looking circles. What are they called? They're like buckled things that hold the leather together.
Some kind of link.
Yeah, like a link. Yeah.
We got Ramon Linares saying the thing looks amazing.
Yeah.
How is the paint application on it?
Well, the paint, surprisingly, in the pictures that I saw, the paint looked a little bit too bright a red, but that's not the case. In person, it's really well shaded. There's loads of contrast in it, which is fantastic. And I watched the film recently, and I think they got it spot on. The only thing they didn't do is they didn't make it as shiny as he appears in some of the film, which I think was a good thing, because it looked really plasticky and really crap. So I think there's enough of a shine on it, but it's done really, really well. And I mean, the gold parts, the bracelet bits and the shoulder pads and the belt part are done really, really well. The gold and black, really, really, really nice. All this sculpted area here. The base itself has got like a granite-y marble effect, which is like a brown and black, so a black base with sort of like speckles of brown marble effect all the way through it. And it has the same running through all the base. So the base part around these leaves is the same. And I think they've captured that spot on from the scenes in the movie, where he's coming along and she's half asleep on the floor. She's been dancing around with that dress. They captured it spot on. I think it looks great. The paint app's crazy good.
Yeah, I've actually worked out now to get on my phone. So.
Oh, well done. He's fixed it.
All right, so we've got Ghost coming in saying it's a beautiful piece.
It is.
And Ramon Linares, some people mentioned the paint could have been a lot better. In all honesty, I don't think there's an issue with the paint. I mean,
no.
You can see parts on the sculpt that you can see it's hand sculpted. You can see it's painted over the top of that. But I mean, there's a lot of areas, say, where I don't know what that piece is called. The kind of gold antique trim, where that could have been quite a mess. I mean, we've seen in the past a lot of sort of gold silver pieces where they really struggle to neaten up on the gold and silver, but PCS have done really, really well on this. They've made it look great. They've done
really delivered.
Yeah.
Really delivered.
You've also got, I mean, we're going to go over most of this in the review, so we may actually be making our own review obsolete. Hopefully not, because the review is going to be in 4K, so there'll be that quality.
Yeah, definitely.
There's also, the magnets which are here on the cape, which obviously make it look a lot better, which I didn't know that was the case. And then you kind of see, you can kind of see more of the sculpt, which is it's almost criminal that all of this is hidden away behind under all of this.
That hair that hair going on underneath this leather. These leather parts are all sort of like linked together by these gold brass hooks, and the hair coming through is real, you know, hair. And it looks amazing. It looks absolutely insane. You know, really, really, really nice effect. I mean, as good as the sculpted hair is on the Sideshow version, this just blows that away, like in every way, because there's no substitute. You know, no matter how good you sculpt hair or fur, you can't get it looking the way this actually does.
I think there are a few pieces where they have done it really, really well. Probably the best example of that is the Fury of the Beast.
Yeah, but that's few and far between.
Oh, yeah,
that's a standout.
You know, to take something that was sculpted by Troy McDavitt, and then someone would have painted that at Sideshow to make it look amazing originally, but then it could easily go to the factory and lose a lot of that with the factory paint. But they captured that really, really well, and the factory did a really good job to capture what Troy did. We've also got Ramon again saying, I agree on the shiny look. Glad they didn't go with that option. Thanks for answering my questions. Anytime, buddy. Rob Newbury. Hey, buddy. Hey. The microphone's over. I'm not going to pick it up.
Hey.
I don't think I'm not sure if it's picking up on there because the webcam has built-in mic, and I think YouTube is picking up the built-in mic on the webcam rather than the actual.
But we used it for review.
So we just tried it for review.
So
you know, we are going to hopefully see whether the quality is better on the darkness review. So we'll see. Sinister statues. What do you think about the base? A lot of detail on the sculpt of the character, so maybe it is better. It is.
The base.
What do you think about the base? A lot of detail on the sculpt of the character, so maybe it's better. It is. I think it is simple. Sorry,
Well, I mean, the funny thing is although you may see on the video where it looks quite plain, when you see the review and the photos, that's why we do the pictures so that you can see them. But the detailing on this base, like up front and it, you know, real close up, is unbelievable. That whole center part has got like it's got like a man, a woman, and I think another woman, and all snakes, and they're all sort of writhing around together. Very similar to the sort of the movie theme, because there's a slightly perverse undertone to that film. That's why for like you'd expect to sit and watch, like let your kids watch that movie. I mean, when I was younger, I remember thinking it's like a kids film. It ain't. It's got a very, very serious deprived undertone to it, and they're sort of writhing around in the snakes. They're really well sculpted. I mean, the woman's got a chest out and everything on the front of there. So all the leaves are really, really well done. I mean, it's really close to the decor that he has in his sort of I want to say his sort of like throne room. Lair, could call it that, but it's kind of grand. You know, that's why I don't really call it that. It's not somewhere like a beast would. I mean, it's almost like where you expect Satan to be sitting enjoying the show. You know, I think that's pretty much the theme of the film.
I think it's also very classy as well. And
it's super classy.
It gives an element of that to it.
He has that, doesn't he? Darkness. He's quite a classy, speaks very well, quite eloquent monster. You know, and that's I think his power, his strength. And you know, the base is really nice, and like I said at the start, we measured it and we weighed it itself, and that base alone is around 6.5 kilos. Yeah. I mean, that you could literally club you know, a camel to death with that base. It is really heavy, really feels premium and solid, which is nice.
Yeah. We've got Roberto Pena, actually, funny enough, bought my Sideshow one off me. He's asking if it's real fur. I don't know if it's actual animal fur, but it's some kind of faux fur, probably. Yeah. And it is really well done. I mean, that again could have come across really tacky, and I think they've done that perfectly. I really think that if someone said, "Oh, he's got actual real or faux fur on his legs," people would be kind of like frown upon it and maybe think, really. But I think,
different note to it being on the head, isn't it? We don't really like fur or hair on the heads of statues. But for some reason, the fur really works well on the legs. Really does. It doesn't have the same effect.
Rob Newbury. Yeah, the mic seemed to work really well. Just still playing around with the settings.
Because there's so many.
It's not just switch and turn on. It's quite.
Yeah, we're used to the special needs microphone version. It's a bit more advanced for us.
Roberto Pena. Yep, it's huge. He says that darkness sounds very educated. Tim Curry did an amazing job as Darkness.
Yeah,
did an amazing job as Pennywise. I'm not really sure what to think about the other one, but yeah, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The thing is with this is you know, it took 3 years to get out, but I'm glad. It's one of the first times with Pop Culture Shock recently that I've actually felt pleased that they took their time. It feels and it looks like they did. With the ninjas and some of the other stuff that's come out, you're waiting all that time and they're crap. The stuff is crap.
Yeah.
So you end up thinking to yourself, you know, it took this long and this is what you give me. As soon as I walked in and I see this, and I really like the Sideshow piece, but as soon as I walked in and I seen this and I got into the finer details and close-ups of it, I was like, yeah, totally worth the wait. They really, whatever they've done to make sure it's come out right, this looks fantastic. Really, really impressive.
Did Tim Curry die?
No. He might be dead, is he?
I thought he was ill. I don't think he died.
I hope he ain't fucking dead.
I don't know. Rob Library saying I missed Tim Curry. Robert Penner, I'm impressed. Penner, it fits that piece. Then we got Forces Films. Okay, I can't read Spanish.
Espanol!
This is like the way he says it's magnificent statue. LS, magnificent. Maybe it's French.
Maybe it's French. The thing is, as well, is
I love the pose.
The pose is great, but I mean, what would surprise me is I looked at Alex's terrible pictures, and I really wasn't sure on the face, but the face is really, really spot on. The face is so good. I mean, even you know, you say what you want. You know, the Sideshow one's a nice piece, but I don't like the face too much. I really think they messed the teeth up a fair bit. You know, the teeth were sort of yellow and they're just not very clean. They looked a bit crooked. They just didn't look right.
I think it was sculpted probably okay, but then what happened was they just overdone the paint.
Yeah, potentially, regardless, but that's how it looked. With this, when I watched, the first thing I noticed when I watched the clips of this character is just how clean his teeth are. His teeth are absolutely, they are clean and they're very straight and they're very pronounced. You can see everything. They don't look rank and dirty and not, you know, and they've got that right.
Some dental leather, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, they really are. They are the straightest damn canines you're ever going to see in someone's face.
Then we got Sinister Statue saying the horns could be used as weapons.
No, we found a better use.
Yeah.
We take them off like this, and we just sit back.
We can sit there. We can relax,
and we just.
Upside down,
yeah, that's it. Now it is, see?
So yeah, they look
it's a fine statue. It's a fine statue.
They just look like pipes, yeah.
They do, yeah. And probably you can get away with it. I mean, the funny thing is as well is they've got like a groove that runs around the inside, just underneath, and that actually tells you which way round you should put them on because the groove should be facing down. So that's quite good because it's quite hard to tell from the key to get it precise. So you know if the grooves are facing the underneath, you know you've got it the right way around.
Tim Curry had a stroke, but he's hanging in there.
Go on, boy. Feel better, son.
What about the fabric elements? Is it good, or is it good or better than the Sideshow version?
That's quite difficult.
Maybe we should say that for a review. Jesus.
That's quite a good question because I think that some of the best parts of the Sideshow element were the mixed media. But to be honest with you, the one thing that this has is it doesn't have any of them sort of beads that fall off and then gems sequins that come off because that was the problem. I think that this cape is done really well. It's not the thickest, but it's accurate to what it sort of looks like in the film. It doesn't look. It's quite flowy. You can always see.
I guess they could have maybe done the bottom a bit better. You can see like parts where someone's gone along.
You mean the frame?
Yeah.
The frame of it.
Yeah, you can see where someone's just gone like snip.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far because it's actually quite. There are parts. It is weathered like sort of very differently everywhere. So I wouldn't go that far. It looks like it's been cut and then pulled a bit.
Yeah.
But this is fantastic. The trousers, they're unbelievable. The way that the trousers and things have been done. I mean, they are literally held together by these hooks. These like almost ball rings.
Well, also laces as well. They got hooks.
Yeah, they have got, and across the back of the belt as well, where he's holding. It's almost like what do you call that? It's almost like a garter that he's got across the middle of it.
Crotch guard.
Yeah, he's got like a garter that's going across. It's tied at the back. There's like a there's a big leather sort of knot that's been tied up there, which is nice. The mixed media is really nice. It's very impressive.
Asking for measurements. Do you remember what they were?
Yeah, so it's around 37.5 inches to the top of that, to the top of the staff, and then to the head. I think
it's a French guy, so he's going to want centimeters.
To the no.
You're going to have to Google it, I'm afraid, buddy.
Oh God, centimeters. Yeah, I got to give you inches because I remember. What
conversion? There's a tape measure there.
So, all right, I might as well bloody just do it. On top of that, underneath the base is around about 37, so it's about 94 centimeters tall. But to the top of the head, it's not so much. So if you can actually remove this, this comes out, and it's got a little wedge that goes in the base there.
Careful at the top.
Yeah, but you know it sits in the base, and then goes in there, and it comes in two pieces. So you can take this off, and it comes that way, and then you got a specific wedge there.
Jorman Jatika is asking if it's made in the same factory as the factory that makes XM. I don't believe this was, but I believe the Conan or the Battle Cat is going to be the first one released from the XM factory.
Yeah, this is the last piece we believe from that factory.
One of the last pieces.
It's one of the last pieces out, and I think that Pop Culture Shock, especially the new management, need to be commended on kicking their ass a little bit to get this done right, because it was done very well.
Gary's watching. Old Speedy.
Yo, Speedy boy.
John Fabian is saying that the legs look solid black. Are they? No. They are not solid black at all. You're looking for a pretty poor webcam. Basically, there are the black leather actually has hints of like a browny bronze in them as well.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
which we didn't sell in the review, but
yeah, it does.
We said after. And then, as I say, the hair is
coming through.
The fur is ridiculous.
The fur is like almost a mousy brown with some hints of some lighter hairs in there.
This isn't legendary. Legendary is half, isn't it?
Legendary is half scale. Yeah,
there were some thirds.
There might have been, but this is
third scale. I think legendary is
around sort of like 17 inches wide, and it's about 14 inches deep.
Family toy chest, great. Certainly a centerpiece for sure.
So my one criticism of it is the scale.
Yeah,
it's just I mean, if this was quarter scale, I would seriously go out and buy this. That's how good it is. I do like the character in the movie because I think it's the closest depiction of a Satan-esque character as you're going to find.
You can probably get away with it as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he's just very I love the characters. The only part of the film I like is this character. So to have it is great, but I just think it's really massive and too big for.
He is huge.
But in the film, it's funny because in the film he's depicted. His scale varies the way they filmed it. There's a part where she's asleep on the floor and he leans over her, and she's asleep and he's right over her, and he looks like he's about 30 foot tall. He is like massive. How big? The way that they've done the cinematography, the way that they filmed it, his scale really changes a lot. He can be quite massive, and then in other shots he doesn't look as big. So you could probably get away with having that in a quarter scale movie collection,
I don't know, it's a bit too big for that. I mean, even the Sideshow one was about 26, 27 inches tall. Someone's just asking about the boxes. So this does come in two boxes. So you get, this one is the horns and the base. And then this one is the actual figure. So the figure's around the same size as probably a big premium format. So you kind of get that from Sideshow.
You mean the box size?
The box size.
Yeah. Probably like Batman PF size.
I think Batman's bigger than that.
Maybe it might be a little bit.
There's still a big premium format. It's the same size as the Ninjas anyway.
But they've really used the space well, actually, Pop Culture Shock.
They do.
But how big this figure is.
Gary, that doesn't say much because you buy everything. He's saying if I saw this in a shop and I haven't even seen the film myself, I'd buy it just to the amount of detail. Gary was over the other day. He saw it in person.
Yeah, it's very impressive. I mean, certainly more impressive than your pictures.
Yeah, my pictures made it look really, really bad.
No, it just made it. It didn't make it look bad. It didn't make it look wow, and it is wow.
I'm waiting for Roberto to come out with one of his. He keeps on spamming those things all over the posts. You've seen him.
What?
Have you seen Roberto's posts?
Oh, what did he say?
The ones about the RaddTitan t-shirts.
Oh yeah, I love him. Yeah, yeah, he's great.
All right, so
I feel godlike now and all something like that with the fabric. And
make an investment. Your girlfriend would call you business savvy for you.
That's lovely. He should be our PR guy.
Yeah, well, he was saying that he needs to send me some free t-shirts for all this gold I'm coming up.
Yeah, it is gold. There's none of that.
We're going to quote him, but we're not going to pay him. All right, so yeah, if there's anything else, I mean, you've got a couple more minutes before we go off, and unfortunately, we've done all the review, so
done the pictures now.
Done the pictures.
It's all done.
We are going to, this is going to be. I don't know whether this is going to come out in 720 or 1080. Depends on how the internet connection is feeling. But we're going to have a 4K review coming up very soon. We just wanted because there was so much controversy with this piece, we just wanted an opportunity to see whether a few people could ask a few questions if they wanted to see certain pieces. And
and it may be something we go into in the future. We've got to do the Heat Seeker Deadpool, so maybe we might do that.
Maybe. I mean, it's just, again, it's something that we can hopefully add if we need to.
It's quite nice to be able to answer, because you get these at the end of the review, don't you? You get all these questions and you answer them, but this is sort of on point. It's just it's nice, man. I think if anybody out there is waiting for this, they're going to be happy.
How are the eyes?
The eyes, I mean, we talked about that during the review. The eyes are painted; they're super clean. I know that they were meant to be. What were they? They were going to be acrylic or something. What were they going to be?
They were meant to be acrylic eyes originally.
Don't need it.
And
they're quite vibrant. They're quite vibrant, and they grab hold of you, and they don't look poor. I mean, Alex's pictures, they look fucking terrible. I looked at the photos, like his eyes are off, but they're in person. They got a nice shine to them, and they got a very crisp, clean black line, almost like an eyeliner going around the yellow as well, which is fitting. The way that they've done the lips and the face, the head's magnificently well done. Really nice.
Saying someone needs some artwork on that wall. I'm not allowed to expand into this room.
I've got
everything in the other room, so I'm not allowed to expand past that.
Yeah.
I don't really want to.
Yeah.
I want to keep all under one roof, so I can.
Under one room.
Behind one door.
Behind one door. Yeah.
I get nervous enough having people in my house already. If it's out in this room, then
All hell's going to break loose, man. We'll have the 3-year wait this one. This is a real good showing from PCS. It's I'm very impressed.
I hope PCS had a warning on the box for their US customers. Why not anyone else? For their US customers, those horns could stab a baby if falling over. I'm
telling you, it's just there's loads as well. The hands, the way that the hand is done, you can see there from the side. The way the hand is that his nails just like stick right out. They've already cut and sliced Alex open.
I got stabbed in the back of the head with it.
Yeah, sliced him, split him open. So and the nails are fine. So Alex's butter-like head is not done very well.
Risco is saying Lord of Darkness is awesome. His torso is a little bit skinny though.
No, it's not. It isn't. That's the funny thing, is that in pictures, you sort of get that impression. You think that the middle of him is a little. You think that around this midsection here is thin, but it's not. The funny thing is in the movie, there, like I say, he's wearing like a prosthetic bodysuit. And in some pictures, the middle looks a little bit thick, and in other ones, when he's stretched out, it looks a little bit more lean. The funny thing is about his physique in the movie is that he's quite lean through the bottom half of his waist, and then the top part of his back, and especially here where you can see it sort of sticking out of the cape, is this monstrosity of traps and rhomboids and back muscles. They're not human, and they come straight out. So they've captured that, but he's actually in person. It's quite muscular. It is a muscular body that's on there. It is a bit thin around the waist, but from the movie, that's how he looks.
Well, basically, what happened was Jerry asked me for some pictures of myself during the summer, and I sent them across, and he based it on me.
Yeah,
that was it. Really.
The only thing based on you is that big fucking chin. Fucking Bruce Forsyth chin.
You were looking at his nose to see if he had a big nose.
Yeah, he don't have a big nose. I can't use
it.
The chin. I mean, now it's surprising actually. In the pictures, I think I think it's this part. I think that's the part. The part here on the outside. I think it's this bit here that gives people the impression that he's quite lean. Well, but the lats come straight out. I mean, I think he's sort of up and stretching, so this looks awfully straight.
And then material is polystone.
Yeah. 15 kilos this weighs total. Which is not as crazy as it sounds.
So Ramon Linares, may the gods have mercy on your soul to say this is better than Sideshow's blasphemy.
No, it's better. Sorry, bro.
But that's Roberto who bought the Sideshow one off of me.
Yeah, good time. Good time. It's a nice piece, nice quarter scale piece.
If there's anything, what would you change?
I would change the scale to quarter scale, so I could probably have it in my collection. I'd probably say maybe a little bit of tightening up details on the hands, maybe. Maybe that right hand. I would say that you know, because of the way the way the fingers are done, it's quite a hard piece to get. But probably just a little bit more shading is on the hands. Hands are quite lightly shaded, compared to the rest of it. So probably that would potentially be.
I'd say kind of more. I'd improve maybe the kind of the bottom part of the cape and weathering on there. Maybe just like a little bit. I mean, it's in his place, which is quite clean, isn't it? So maybe that's not. But if it's all frayed, it will be a bit weathered, a bit dirty.
Could be, but his place is kind of spotless though.
Well, but it's still frayed. Yeah, it's over time. And also the for some reason, I don't know why, but the unicorn horn really bothers me.
Yeah, it does.
He would stab himself in the side.
He'd bend down to check his hooves and kill himself. Is that my foot?
Oh, yeah. So that
go right into his underneath his ribs. That isn't on.
Merry Christmas, Speedy. Merry Christmas. Speech before anyway. It looks future of fail. Future of fail. Future of.
Can you read?
No, it's because he's done space. Future of all. He looks a bit of a diva with his hand in his hip in that pose.
Yeah.
It is. I mean,
they captured it very well from the film because he's very camp in the film. Yeah. Very camp. He's, you know, you're not camp in the sort of way that you know his sexuality is in question. Just a little bit. What's the word? What's the word when someone's a little bit strange?
Strange.
Yeah, you like say they're a little like quirky. It's a bit quirky of a character. He speaks beautifully. He's very eloquent. He's educated. He almost seems too smart for that body. Really, he's sort of It's like he's close to the devil, man.
He's been around for a long time, hasn't he? So he's got a lot of knowledge.
He's really sharp and he's very well spoken.
Eccentric.
Yeah, eccentric. That's the word. That's exactly the word I was after. Yeah. I mean, he's wearing lipstick. He's got black lipstick and black eyeliner on.
I wouldn't take credit for that, but it's Rob Newbury.
The hand on the hip is the least of his concerns, believe me.
It's a little teapot.
Yeah, it's a teapot, yeah.
All right, what we're going to do there is we're going to finish up there. So, I mean, we've already done the review anyway, so hopefully that will be up in the next couple of days, and you'll be able to see some close-ups and some better quality video, maybe not.
The sound at least will be good, Rob, so don't panic.
Well, hopefully. So
thanks for coming, thanks for joining us, man, and much love. So we made Bendon and we'll talk about this. If you enjoyed it, and Alex enjoyed it, then maybe we'll do one for the Deadpool in about an hour, half hour, 40 minutes.
Roberto's starting up again. So I'll tell you what leaves a better impression is a RaddTitan t-shirt. Don't own a piece of the god's fruit. It is not late not too late to spoil yourself with pure bliss.
I love that guy.
All right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the other side. I can stop it.